So, good evening, ma'am. This will be my report in ecology. So, my topic is all about ecological community. So, what do ecological community mean? An ecological community is the aggregate of groups of various species in ecological systems. So, when we say aggregate, this will be the totality. So, under ecological community, we have here types of interaction between two species, co-evolution, group selection interspecific, competition and coexistence, positive, negative interactions, which is under of that was the predation, herbivory, parasitism, and allelopathy. So, community ecology. So, in ecology, a community is a group or association of populations of two or more different species occupying the same geographical area at the same time, also known as a biocoonosis. This term community has a various of uses. In its simplest form, it refers to group of organisms in a specific place. It's like a cycle. So, vice versa. Present dito yung predation, predation, which is itatopic natin o i-discuss later on. So, we will proceed in the types of interaction between two species. So, community ecology also takes into account abiotic factors. So, example given, the annual temperature or soil. These non-living factors, when we say abiotic factors, this is the non-living factors. So, non-living factors can influence the way species interact with each other, while the abiotic factors filter the species that are present in the community, and therefore community structure. For example, so the difference in plants present in the desert compared to the tropical rainforest is dictated by the annual precipitation. So these non-living factors also influence the way species interact with each other. So, ang non-living, the way they interact with each other also maapektuhan pod ang species. Humans can also have an effect on community structure through habitat disturbance, such as introduction of invasive species. So, coevolution. Coevolution, this is the process of reciprocal evolutionary change that occurs between pairs of species or among groups of species as they interact with one another. So, dito naman, in coevolution, it may represent the interaction between between the species with one another. Muna siya. So, the activity of each species that participates in the interaction applies selection pressure on the others in a predator-prey interactions. For example, the emergence. So, adaptations allowing them to capture prey using other means will pass their genes to the next generation. So, coevolution is one of the primary methods by which biological communities are organized. So, when we say coevolution, mauna siya ang pinaka first nga method in a biological arrangement. Yes. So, it can lead to very specialized relationships between species, such as those between pollinator and plant, between predator and prey, And between parasites and hosts, it may also foster the evolution of new species in cases where individual populations of interacting species separate themselves from their greatest populations for long period of time. So, mauto ang purpose sa co-evolution. So, that will be the meaning of that. Now, we will have the interspecific competition. So, interspecific competition, it generally leads to a reduction of the contribution of poor competitors in the community, whereas superior competitors are able to gain dominance. So, the superior competitors will also makagain sila sa ilahang dominance. Now, interspecific competition occurs between members of different species. For example, different species might compete for the same prey. So, although they are in a different species, there's a possibility that they will be compete just for one and more bakaha nga prey. Naa siya possibility nga magkuan sila na merong competition na mangyayari. So, positive, negative interaction. So, the entire community, so I have here the picture. Then, this will be the sample. So, the entire community lives on a relatively vertical rock faces in the wave-swept intertidal zone. So, the community of marine invertebrates and algae are adapted to cling or adhere to the rock face, where most fed upon the small animal life suspended in the water or plankton. So, a bivalve, the mussel Mystilus, is superior at attacking to rock faces, then making it the competitive dominant. A starfish is an effective predator of the mussel. So, muna siya. Yan yung isa sa mga examples ng mga effective predator, which is the starfish. Making space available for other species and consequently is critical to maintaining a diverse biological community. So, also we have the keystone. The keystone species concept is one of the best known ideas in the community ecology. So, although it is true that many species potentially interact with one another in a food web, such as depicted in Figure 1, which is this one. So, in nature, there are big players and little players. The biggest players of all referred to as a keystone species, whose presence or absence or substantial increases or decrease in abundance profoundly affects other species in the community. So, evidence usually comes from experiments in which one species is added to or removed from a community. So, how are we going to identify which species would be positive or negative? So, we have here the interaction. So, mutualism, positive, both sides, species A and species B, it is positive. Commensalism, then proto-cooperation, amensalism, parasitism, predation, cannibalism, competition. So, this will be the positive and negative interaction. So, now we have here the Okay. So, we have here the predation, herbivory, parasitism, and allelopathy. which is under in positive negative interaction. So, we have first the predation. So, predation, we have a predator. So, predator-prey relationships define one species, the predator. So, feeding, preying on another. So, yan yung tinatawag na predator. So, individually, prey is harmed. But predation can help the population by eliminating the sick, weak, and old. So, yan yung trabaho, yan yung nagagawa ng predation. So, predators have a variety of ways to capture prey. So, when you say predators, ito yung mga animals na maano ng prey. So, prey species escape predators in a number of different ways, such as swift movement, protective shell, camouflage, or use of chemicals to repel or poison. And then we have herbivory. So, we will proceed in herbivory. So, the definition of this. So, this is the act of an animal eating a green plant. So, that's what we call the herbivory. So, mga herbal green plant. They eat green plant. While parasitism, we will proceed now in parasitism. Parasitism is any relationship between two individuals in which one member benefits while the other is harmed but not killed or not allowed to. So, isa sa mga best example ng parasitism is like a mosquito. Maka-benefit sila, maka-benefit sila, maka-benefit sila sa isa ka prey, but that prey will just totally killed or not allowed to kay na ay possibility nga maka-gain sila dadto, makakaon sila or what, pero they are not responsible on what would happen next. Like sa lamok, wala sila ipaki kung mapakan o mapatahin anto sila. Ang importante lang nila is makakaon sila o harm but not killed or not allowed to. So, best example sa parasitism is the mosquito. And the last one is allelopathy. So, allelon, which means of each other, then pathos, which means to suffer. So, allelopathy refers chemicals released into environment where it affects the development and growth of neighboring plants. So, I have here the example of allelopathy. So, ga-refer siya sa mga chemicals nga makarelease sa environment na to. O pwedeng maapektuhan yung development or the progress of the plants. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng allelopathy. So, that would be all my report. Thank you.